Thank you for joining me. These will be my thoughts on Marvel Zombies Season 1, Episode 2, simply called Episode 2. The episode is rated TVMA, so this video B. There will be spoilers for the episode and everything MCU and adjacent leading up to it, potentially anyway. Yeah, another episode I absolutely fucking loved. I haven't watched past this episode yet, so I am not gonna get into anything that happens in the last two episodes. Yes, I am aware they're already up. Yes. Let's see. So I thought they did a really good job of. I mean, we're only kind of inching towards. We didn't get that much plot progress, but there were a lot of really great character moments. So I felt like that helped. And it is also one of those things. Like I'm not sure. Like essentially, as soon as they get, they just okay. So they just got to get to New Asgard and then get in a ship, fly to space, call in the Nova Corps, and that I guess might kind of resolve the entire thing. So yeah, there's only so much they can. Maybe it's not so bad that this is only 4 episodes. Otherwise, I guess they would have had to have, the MacGuffin discovered in another episode than the first one. Yeah, I think let's see. I feel like maybe that is everything that I guess I'll just briefly note. So I feel like the first episode, you kind of have Romero's Dawn of the Dead, maybe Day of the Dead, maybe some 28 Days Later kind of thing going on. There's some sense of hope. There's, a journey that has to be taken. Yeah, this one, I got a distinct World War Z vibe. Haven't watched that movie. I think I will at some point. Um, yeah, I really appreciate it. I kind of hope that they keep that up. That the last two episodes are also very distinctly different zombie stories than yeah. Um, I think that covers the overarching. Yeah. Let's go scene by scene. So, yeah, the opening is especially where I really got, like, I remember the trailers for that movie, and I've seen some, so sometimes I'll watch a video where they talk about the movie, and they'll show, like, footage from the movie, yeah, the city with chaos and such, yeah, it's World War Z, it seems, at least, but with the Marvel twist, yeah, there's actually a, what's the word? You've got a giant man-ified giant man. You've got a giant fucking zombie. That's so cool. I'm sorry, y'all can hate on this shit as much as you want. I really appreciate some of these fun twists on, yeah. I think that pretty well, um, yeah, it was really cool seeing Wenwu and yeah, the entire, yeah, I mean, Shang-Chi, Katie, Death Dealer, everyone shows up to, and yeah, it was, I haven't watched that much anime, but it seems to me very anime when Wu jumps out of a fucking helicopter and lands. There's like a massive dust cloud from the fucking impact. That was really, really cool. Yeah, I think the yeah, some really great both action and horror there. And I appreciate they do point out, oh, there's a fire at the PIM lab. That's how this whole thing got. Yeah. I think, does that pretty well bring us to the let's see. Yeah. The fact that Shang-Chi, it's specifically the fact that he really wants to save people. That's part of why he isn't getting to safety sooner, and so he gets bit, and we see it spread, cover his entire arm, And when Wu, he does say soft-hearted fool, but he does also save his life at the expense of his own. Um, yeah, that was a really great moment. And I mean, I guess you could hypothetically with fucking magic rings, I don't know all the rules, make a tourniquet that prevents and it is like the concept of a tourniquet for this sort of thing. I'm not entirely sure, would that work in real life? I know that people have used it for certain things. I forget. Does it make sense with gangrene? Or I guess with gangrene it's usually amputation. But yeah, like there's a it doesn't feel just ridiculous. Like I don't know if let's say that I don't know, instead of the rings, maybe he just wills it, the zombie virus to not affecting him or something. That would have felt like, really. Yeah, great to have more Jimmy Woo in these. And yeah, I don't know. I thought it worked the way that he and Death Dealer have this ongoing, yeah, uh, yeah. They Wu will talk a lot and Death Dealer will say nothing. Um, yeah, I think that does pretty well range. And yeah, super fucking cool with the attack helicopters. Um, yeah, I think that might bring us to the and yeah, they get on, they fly away, and then 5 years later, and not long after they meet back up, or they meet up with, and we're back with the characters from the first episode. Um, yeah. Okay. So obviously another thing. Okay. I'm just gonna say it. There's a little bit of a fucking Resident Evil Extinction vibe. The third Resident Evil movie where they're all Mad Maxy to the some of this episode. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's more that they're thinking like Mad Max and zombies. That could work. If everybody else has done it, I don't think it was that memorable of a movie. Uh, yes, at some point I will review the first three Resident Evil movies, since I have already done the Paul W.S. Anderson ones. I mean, I don't currently plan on watching the other ones. I think that might, I watched the Paul W.S. Anderson ones for him. I watch everything that he writes and or directs because I find it very amusing, and I like watching how he'll get super into a new toy and then use it too much and or wrong. Anyway, I like I played all the way through the second game twice. Played the demo of the third one. Played the light gun one, Resident Evil Survivor, a bunch of times. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, not loving squirrels still as villains, but yeah, the idea of like a biker gang trying to steal cows during the zombie apocalypse, that was fun. And the way that they just fucking demolish them. And yeah, very cool. The great use of the rings throughout the episode. I like that there's Shang-Chi and Katie are still doing karaoke. I bet Wong's like super pissed he doesn't get to be part of that. And Wu joins in, and Death Dealer does not. Yeah, they arrive, and there's the thing about, well, hopefully we have enough tribute to offer, and Walker is there. Great to see him again. I mean, it hasn't been that long, but still. Yeah, the joke about like who doesn't like a steak? Vegetarians? Okay, yeah. I think, yeah, and the idea that the Baron, Zemo, has he does like to find ways to attain power, amass power. And I quite appreciate, at first it seemed like, oh, have they like softened him? But no, the thing about, you are heroes. There are so many heroes doing heroics. I hate heroes. They're silly with their masks. Jesus Christ. I guess someone's like doing his own research about Corona. But yeah, and then he says, but we need heroes. And then later we find out, I mean, yeah, he wasn't lying. It's just not the way that the heroes would like to be needed. Yeah, I think that pretty well gets... yeah, and the fact that, yeah, at first, Alexei is like, oh, don't worry, my friend. People bump into each other all the time. Oh, fuck, zombie. Which, like, yeah, that is what it looks like, and like, this is a time where even a few seconds of hesitation can get you and your loved ones killed, so it does make sense. And I it was great, so yeah, Ms. Marvel gets her the blowy fist ready, and I think it's Katie who's like, oh yeah, I like how your fists glow. Thank you. I like your rings. Just wonderful. Cause like, yeah, that's, I've spoken before about, so again, I'm not engaging in gender essentialism. That philosophy can eat shit, but through socialization, it is a fact that there are a number of women, I'm not saying all, who can just become friends with each other over just like, yeah, admiring something about each other, and then they're friends, and I think there's a lot of men who could really stand to learn from that, because like, why the fuck do we all have to fight? Like, we just, yeah, I think I'm just gonna move on. Ideally, I think we should just talk about things and just like try to convince each other, rather than engaging in violence. Violence should always be the last resort. I feel like that covers that entire scene. So yeah, the raft, I mean, I I don't think it's okay. So it's possible that the raft was always mobile and it just didn't come up in the others, which, like, yeah, could happen. Um, but yeah, having it as, and it can, it can sail, it can submarine. Yeah, that's meanwhile, that's, you got to be careful about that, because Namor, he is known as the Submariner, so he very aggressively attacks them over copyright infringement. But before that, yeah, the thing about, the what was it, the floating city, something like that, and yeah, using the cells as sort of, accommodations, because, I don't know, you got beds, there's something there. Um, let's see. I thought that they had some really great. Let's see. Yeah, the things about, the food. Is that enough? Can I have more? Oh yeah, you can have as much as you want. And then he walks back and he's got this pile, and then he says, oh, can you share? You can have as much as you want. I'm sorry, Alexei. I don't understand how there are people who hate this fucking superpowered teddy bear. Okay, you leave him alone. You get off his ass. Like, seriously, he's just such a God damn it, he's so fucking charming. Um, we need more Alexei Shostakovs in the real world, like people who are just like, sure, let's this will work. This is good, and share the mountain of food and just yeah. So also at the table, the thing about the close-up magic, he's still so happy, because at first he was like, how do you do that? And then yeah, he learned and is now yeah. We saw in WandaVision. He's adept at it by now. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, and the thing like minute and magic in under a minute. Called it. And let's see and the fact that Alexei is like, oh, magic, amazing. Just goddamn. And yeah, Alexei pushes for the and it does end up working out. By the end of the episode, they are all dedicated to that mission. And again, that's like yeah. I'm not saying it's always ideal, but sometimes we gotta be better at trusting each other. He's like, listen, we all want to save this fucking world. Like, come on, tell them about it. And she tells them, and at first they're like, sure, but reluctant. And I think that might cover the entire table scene, actually. Let's see. I think right, and the thing about yeah. So, you two, are you? Oh no, we're not a couple. And then Yelena starts flirting with Shang-Chi, and he flirts back. Just yeah, really, really great. It's too bad that's obviously not gonna go anywhere. In this show, I think that might bring us to so yeah. Early in the episode, we have the awesome image that I don't think it was too bad that it was spoiled in one of the trailers. We also have a huge number of zombies underwater because nowhere is fucking safe. And yeah, them swimming up and zombies of the water. What noise they make. And yeah, Zemo's just like, they're not gonna get in. And Namor is like, oh yes, we fucking will. Don't you remember how the very first time the raft appeared in the MCU, it was, it was introduced as this like, oh, you're never going to be able to break people out of here. And then by the end of the movie, it doesn't even, like, we don't even get like a full scene. It's just a few seconds to show, yep, Steve Rogers broke in, this fucking, yeah, the raft is not a secure place in the MCU, plain and simple. Pretty much just a matter of time before Ross gets out of there, right? Anyway, yes, I think they did a really great job on, and yeah, we find out, yeah, Zemo again. This is very in character for him. I really appreciate it. It was really great to see him again. They did a really good job with his character. Yeah, I think yeah, this thing of like, he's gonna sacrifice them, and she immediately makes like a field around them, but little some water is getting in, and yeah, just really, really nicely done on that, and Namor does get in, and then Hulk containment, and he keeps punching on the thing. It's just really cool. That's also a thing. Hulk containment structures don't really work in the MCU, do they? I'm glad they don't. We would lose some really epic fights if they did. But I think that pretty well brings us to the yeah, and Zemo also like trying to convince people. He's like, no, this is good. They will tell stories of this. That's the important part. You're gonna be a hero in the story, right? Because like he doesn't. He views them as a means to an end rather than an end in and of themselves. Um, but yeah, and he's trying to run away, in the little thing that can sail. And yeah, just really, really cool. Them running, and then he's there at the end of the hallway. Guess maybe they're gonna have a hallway scene in each of these episodes. But yeah, she makes the force field, but he pushes against, and then the rings are used to help push against. Just really, really fucking cool. And they end up, yeah, they get through the door, and I appreciated the way that every single of the characters gets to try to attack. And he and Namor, I mean, and he, yeah, several of them he just like easily takes out, or knocks out or such. And then, yeah, um, Ms. Marvel, badass. She's like, you want this? Come and get it. And he does. He both comes and gets it. He fucked around and he fucking found out. Jesus Christ. And yeah, she gets her hand into his mouth and embiggens and splosh, just gone. That was really fucking cool. And yeah, that was a Namor-worthy fight scene. I really appreciate that. They've done a really good job so far in the MCU. They haven't wasted him, in my opinion, at all. I think that might pretty well bring... And that was also very cool when we just see his eyes open and then turn red because, Wanda has ensnared him. I think that pretty much... Yeah, and they talk about, well, let's go to New Asgard. Also the thing at the table, like, so you're not hungry? I eat. He does. Just not, was it not burgers or something like that? And so this or that. Blood. I don't consume blood anymore. And then the guy right next to him, please make me immortal. Because there would be, like if you met a if a vampire was revealed to a large group of people, there would be a non-zero number of them going up to the vampire and being like, bite me. Which of course he might think is like an insult. Yeah. I think that does bring us to the last bit. So yes, I appreciated them killing off more major characters here, really making it feel like pretty much anyone could die. Like, I guess by the end of this one, it feels like maybe Ms. Marvel is gonna make it. She survived 2 entire episodes now. But then I guess so did Alexi. Yeah, but yeah, she was in the entire first episode and about half of this one. And yeah, in danger, but never, and sometimes the danger, but not dead. Yeah, I think that does bring us to the last... Yeah, so there's just a little bit more I wanted to make sure to say. I quite appreciate... Maybe I've already said it, but I really appreciate the way that these 2 episodes are. I think that... Yeah, let's see. I've talked about them being pretty different. I think they're sufficiently different without getting so different that they end up just feeling like episodes of 2 different shows. Like I love nearly all of the Disney Plus MCU and adjacent shows. I don't really want one of the episodes to feel like it belongs to one of the other shows, and so far they haven't. Yeah, I'm genuinely excited to see what next. And I thought they did a good job. So yeah, so the first one, it's a few people in secluded spaces. Let's see, sometimes out in the open and such. Fighting a bunch of zombies. And then in this one, it was a lot of people and there is some fighting zombies, but there's also just like, Zemo causes problems, and you have the water is a problem, and the fact that it is this very different location, just, I mean, it being underwater is just part of it, but it's also that was also, I didn't, was the raft always that big? I don't know. It looked. I guess we haven't seen all of the raft in the movies, but the fact that there was such a large group of people just out in the this open area of it, I didn't realize there was an area like that in the raft. But yeah, we haven't seen everything in the raft. I think that does bring us to the yeah, and the thing about, oh, we gotta get, he tries to engage the thing via the computer, as, oh, we gotta manual override, it's a classic trope. And yeah, it was genuinely emotional when Alexei and Yelena, just, that really did get to me. And again, fantastic acting. Like, we already knew David Harbour was really talented, but yeah, it's just great to see. Right, and again, all of the voice acting, fantastic. From some of these actors, I'm not sure they've done voice work before. Some of them are certainly known for live action, but I think that pretty well brings us. Yeah, yeah, I really, really did feel for Alexei, and I also didn't want to see Yelena go. But yeah, he, and the thing about, she a little for me, a little for my friends, more for me, just great moment. And the thing about, this is a cool way to die. And she also, the hot sauce, and he brought it for her because he knows she likes it during the dinner. But yeah, he tells her, Yelena, you get down here right now. The episode already had a dramatic scene of someone sacrificing themselves. The first episode had dramatic self-sacrifice. I don't want this to be a trope, Yelena.